to the Korea Ultimate Tournament. Get ready. Here it goes. The game has begun. NaDa knows he has to win this game if he wants to advance to the final 32, or will he lose this game in an upset to yOon? NaDa's at the bottom left, yOon's at the top left. No longer cross spots. This may be a little bit more difficult for yOon to starve NaDa like he did the last game. yOon is, of course, going to be expanding towards the right direction of the map. The top right would probably be the most difficult spot for NaDa to push. The bottom right would not be as difficult, but that could also lead to a counterattack by yOon. What build will yOon do? That's what I'm asking myself right now. Looks like, well, actually, we don't know what he's doing. Not a proxy build, though. Looks like we've got the first depot going down for NaDa at the bottom. He tends to line up his depots so that they hug the corner of the map. That can be good unless, of course, you get a Reaver there. The Reaver can blow up all your depots. NaDa's a very organized player when you watch him play. The setup of his buildings, very neat. Sometimes you see these StarCraft players, they're very good, but they're just very sloppy. Their buildings are all over the place. NaDa, however, he's not. He plays StarCraft like with a Trapper Keeper or something. Like, oh, I don't know if that analogy makes any sense. Well, okay, just checking for a proxy. And now going to scout. I think it would have been unlikely, though, for NaDa to proxy. Normally you see players proxy when they're ahead one game, knowing that they can take the risk. And here we see the probe at the top right, checking. He will, in fact, find NaDa last. NaDa's not walling in, which is, I'm actually a little bit surprised. Most Terrans like to wall in on this map. Right now, I think it's going to be a pretty withdrawn game, unless, of course, yOon decides to rush. I think yOon was probably assuming his opponent would wall in, and that's why he didn't get the first Zealot. Note the neutral subject colonies on this map. That's to assist Zerg in expoing and remaining with a 2-hatch, getting the lair. Gives Zerg more options. It doesn't really impact the game too much in the Terran versus Protoss. It really shows you, though, how creative these Korean map makers are. They're always coming up with new ways to change the metagame, new things to put in there, to make this game constantly evolving. And a lot of that is centered around the maps. StarCraft did not have good maps. We would not have good StarCraft games. NaDa's going to be fast expanding. We did only see one SCV in the refinery. Factories being constructed, or the add-on for the factories being constructed, excuse me. One Gateway Dragoon range rush. I don't think we're going to see a second gate. I think we'll probably see a Robo Bay, or maybe a Nexus, or we could see a Citadel. NaDa's lifted that barracks off. He's probably going to use that to spot over one of the expansions. Here's the first Dragoon. NaDa does have his Marines on hold position. He has to be careful to not lose anything more than the shields. Another pylon up. So I assume that we will not be seeing a fast expo for yOon, although I could be wrong. I have been wrong from time to time. Normally about which players which as far as colors go. But enough about that. Onto this game. Here comes the Dragoon Rush now. They'll back off the tank positioned over the high ground. Is going to make this Dragoon Rush impossible. This SCV will spot the expansion, so in fact yOon will be expanding. Although it looks like he got that Robo Bay first, that's why that looked a little bit funny. Pretty standard build right now for yOon. We may see a Reaver after that expansion, though. The second gateway is on the way. A few more tanks out now. Good, pretty standard game right now. Both players doing very standard builds. The most standard thing you'll see Protoss do is expand and then get observers and Dragoons, control the map, mass up, prepare for the push. More creative builds involve either proxying or massing up. I mean, getting Reavers early, DT drops or DT rushes, stuff like that. And even in the occasional very, very, very fast carrier after the first expansion. It looks like yOon does have his opponent contained to some extent. And Academy pretty early. It looks like he's going to be using that to possibly scan. Well, if you get the Academy, then you can get the scanner. He uses that so he can scan the Protoss and figure out what the Protoss is doing. Here's the Observer now, both players. Very soon will have a strong idea of what the other one's doing. NaDa can see the blur of the Observer, so he knows his opponent's at least gotten a Robo Bay. And another Observer's going to come out. We should see a bunch of gateways thrown up. Oh, I do believe I did see an armory at the bottom left. So he's going to be doing a flash type build. I know there are other players who get the armory out early too, but mostly it's well, whenever I think of armories, I think of flash. Just put it like that. So what he wants to do with the armory is get the +1, and then he might even get a starport and another armory and get the science facility out and get 2 armories, and then he might push out when he has the +2 attack, +1 armor. That's at least how Flash does it. Sometimes you see Terran players who push with a +1. Looks like he's going to get a pylon wall up there too. And I don't know. I'm sure the scans have been thrown down now for the Terrans. So Terran probably has a better idea of what his opponent's doing. NaDa going to just start some fight with a sunken colony that is actually a pacifist sunken colony. So yOon has expanded again. This is a very, very, very by-the-book build by yOon. yOon probably feels that he outgamed NaDa last time with some pretty standard play. He's going to do it again this time. We see the Dragoons gathering outside of the base. He doesn't want to let any scouting SCVs get out. And as you can see, NaDa did get a few Goliaths. He does that because he didn't get the engineering base, so he has to get something that will help with anti-air, just in case his opponent does get Reavers. These fast armory builds are usually the weakest against DT tanks. Normally because even though they have the scanner, you can run away from the scanned location and then move back in there afterwards. Looks like the Dragoons and the shuttle are on the move now. Looks like he's going to try to go in for the kill. If he can target fire the shuttle. No, he did not. Not in time. A Reaver's in there too. Not again, NaDa. Why do you keep doing this? Note to self, do not push yOon early in Protoss versus Terran. Oh my gosh, this could be GG right here. He's moving in here now. And where is this mystery tank that's firing? It must be up here. Oh, there it is. If he can rally those units over there, he could just swamp NaDa with Dragoons. Oh, NaDa, you can see how stressed out he is right now. He's not supposed to be losing this game. NaDa, why is it you always lose games when I'm casting them? Is this my fault? I'm sorry. But it's not over yet. Looks like the Dragoons are still up here. But keep in mind, NaDa lost the majority of his tanks. So it's just like his push is going to be really, really delayed. This map is harder to push out late game. Well, it's actually just as hard as the other map we saw, and we saw how that turned out in for NaDa. Zealot legs on the way. Yoon expanding again. Take it easy, Yoon. Looks like this science facility almost finished, and you've been cornered, Dragoon. Time to watch a Dragoon execution. What? What? Alright. You got away this time, Dragoon. Curses. I guess NaDa thought it was gone. NaDa's really not playing very well. NaDa trying to get this expansion up here. Yoon delaying him with a few Dragoons. Templar Archives on the way too, so we'll be seeing some Arbiters pretty soon here. Yoon clearly very comfortable with Arbiters. +1 attack is done. I don't know how helpful that's going to be. Yoon is just in great shape right now. He's already getting another expansion up. He's already ahead of the game. He might be able to get a second starport out too, because he does have enough. He does have enough Vespian gas coming in from his expansions. Double armory now. Kind of like what I guessed would happen earlier, only I don't know. He might have to wait a lot longer before he can have an effective push. Pylon in a Nexus now. Yoon really expanding. What was I talking about? Okay, the Dragoons are still containing the Terran pretty much. Terran's gonna have to rely on Scanner. Looks like Yoon accidentally walled himself in. He's so good at walling off with buildings that he even walled himself in this time. Take it easy, Yoon. Arbiter Tribunal hidden away from the Stargate so that if the Terran scans the Stargate, he has no idea if it's carriers or if it's arbiters, which makes it very difficult to choose if you're going to emphasize your army on science vessels or Goliaths. Yoon playing this out very well overall. I'm very impressed with Yoon right now. Props to you, Yoon. NaDa going to expand again, and he needs to. He's getting very behind this game. Gateway's on the way. Another shuttle out. I think Yoon may be maxed, or if he's not maxed, he'll be maxed in about 2.5 minutes. But he's going to go for a storm drop. Oh, Yoon, you cad, you. This Dragoon is still alive. NaDa's now pushing out. Now, will this be enough? NaDa has a +1 attack, +1 armor. I believe +2 attack will be done very soon. No upgrades here. Yoon ignoring upgrades and instead focusing on massing units. That could hurt him in the long run. Another Nexus. Yoon, you are out of control. Now, he does have the Templars. That's why he did not get the second Stargate. So he will be able to storm the cluster of tanks. Here he comes now! It could end all right now. A few blanketed storms. Very nice by Yoon. Too many Zealots, too many tanks, too many Yoon. Yoon backing up now, knowing he's done the damage he needed to do. He can regroup his army. NaDa slipping a few vultures out. He needs to figure out what the hell's going on the minimap. That's probably an ample opportunity for him to do that. But NaDa's going to find out very quickly that his opponent has way too much of the map. In fact, he may already know this. Cannons are about to finish. These top Protoss players will always wall in with cannons and pylons and things like that, just to stop vulture harassment. Oh! This cannon's going to finish. That should drive the vultures away. Unless they sneak around to the back. Or unless, of course, they let themselves die to cannon fire. NaDa really not playing as well as he could have. This Dragoon remaining useful. Oh, you've been spotted, though. My cover's been blown. NaDa, I don't think is going to have any way to get into the middle of the map because there's just too many Protoss units. God, he's got a lot of gateways. YOon is a macro god. I'm surprised he's not upgrading out of the Forge, though. He has a Forge already. I don't know why he's not just getting the +1. It's kind of sloppy. I guess he has room to be sloppy right now. Here comes what looks like the game-winning blow. The blanketed storms and a bunch of YOon units about to walk over NaDa. NaDa should be typing in GG any moment. NaDa losing this in a huge upset. The most accomplished professional gamer of all time has just been YOon. Oh my gosh. Oh, the humanity. I seriously, every time I cast one of this guy's games, he always loses. I think this is my fault. I take full responsibility for this, NaDa. I am so sorry. We know you're good, NaDa, just not when I'm casting. It looks like he's going to manage to take over this entire expansion. And this will also give him access to that mineral expansion in the middle bottom. The command center is going to go down, and boom, I believe it's already been taken out. More YOon units gathering over here. The science vessel's out. He could stasis that if he feels like it. And here's some more Protoss units. Protoss also expanding at the bottom right. I expect GG here in the next 20 seconds. There's just nothing NaDa can do to win this game. YOon knows he's won. NaDa knows he's lost. NaDa probably just gathering himself. And yes, there it is. Good game. Wow, talk about an impressive series we've seen here today. There's YOon. Probably, yeah, you can see he has a little bit of a smile on his face, knowing that he just beat the most accomplished professional gamer of all time. NaDa probably not very happy about that. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised too. Wow, thank you everyone for tuning in to some very exciting StarCraft games. Next week we're going to be in the phase of the final 32 of each of these players. And I just can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Very accomplished gamers. NaDa will not be one of them, though. YOon now moving on. Can this Dark Horse turn out to beat some more top players? Will he certainly have an opportunity to do that as he advances in this tournament? Well played, YOon. Congratulations to you, and thank you again to our sponsors, Averatec-Intel. Intel, of course, always sponsoring esports tournaments around the world and helping to proliferate awesome stuff like esports. Thank you again, Intel, and thank you, yes, you sitting in front of your computer watching this. We really appreciate all the hits we can get, and we hope that you continue to tune in as this tournament continues to progress. It has been some very exciting games. Thank you to all the StarCraft sites and all the other mainstream, esports sites and other sites out there who have been giving us, posting on their forums and posting in their news blogs. We appreciate it. Continue to spread the word. We want to get as many hits as possible. We at GOM want to share our passions with everyone else, and our passion is StarCraft. Everybody at GOM TV plays StarCraft. They're actually all quite good at the game, too. Whether it be the observers, the casters, the cameramen, or the CEOs, we just love this game. And we're glad to see that you love it, too, and that you're tuning in and watching it and enjoying it. So next week, the final 32. This is Nick Tasteless Plot signing out in just a little bit here, I think. Sometimes I'm not good at reading these Korean commentators. So the results for today: Cassie loses as an upset to Memory. Junie goes 1-2 against Flash. Flash moves on. Baby loses in 2 very short games against Anytime. And finally, YOon 2-0s NaDa in what I would consider to be a massive upset. And, here are the rest of the results. Not that you can read them. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you haven't started playing StarCraft again, now's the time to start. Go to icup.net, ICCUP.net. There's a StarCraft ladder up there. A lot of the pro gamers and the top owners play on there, as well as the noobs. Although the real noobs are actually playing on BGH, probably in pub games somewhere. But you know what? They like StarCraft 2, so they're not that bad in my book either. And by the way, sorry again for that mix-up in that turn versus Terran with the Cassie versus Memory game. I noobed it up, and that was embarrassing. My apologies. That should not be happening again. Jesus is human after all. You probably thought I was Protoss, though, but, well, now you know the secret's out there. And, yeah, it looks like we're going to be closing up in just a little bit here. I don't know what games we're going to be casting next week, but it may be on the site. Make sure you post on the forums showing your support. Show the games to everyone. I want to get as much exposure from these StarCraft tournaments as possible. And I am hungry. I'm going to go get some dinner with one of my buddies from Team Liquid down here. If you're interested in discussing these games on forums and stuff like that, teamliquid.net is the place to go. And I guess that's it. I do believe that this time this is not a drill. I do believe we are winding it up. So thank you again, everyone. So yes, and expect more events from GOM in the future after this tournament's done with. This is not a one-time deal. Otherwise, I won't have a job. So they better have some more events coming up, and I do believe they will. We also have some great World of Warcraft games that you can check out. The VODs are up there. Feel free to check them out. They are some very exciting games. I've been watching them and enjoying them. And I hope the World of Warcraft people are tuning in here. And our two nerd communities can unite and hold hands in the esports scene in Korea and in the rest of the world. So, okay, wow, I really thought she was going to close it up there. I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying to have these good closings, but I just have no idea when these are actually going to end. So, thank you again. This is the TG Averatec-Intel Classic. It's been a blast casting these games. I hope you've enjoyed watching them. And I think we're going to close it up. I am so hungry. I need to get some food, man. I have burned a lot of calories casting these games. And, yeah. Thank you again to our sponsors, Averatec-Intel. We've been getting a lot of hits. These tournaments have turned out to be very successful, and we've enjoyed bringing them to you.